Hello guys, MJT360 back at you again with another video. Today we're going over angle grinder safety. This is very important, guys. We're going to be going over different attachments, these mainly right here. We're going to be going over big grinders versus small grinders. We're going to be going over the safety gear that you need to be wearing when you're doing this so you don't accidentally set yourself on fire or something much worse. Anything. Now, let me tell you, I'm not liable if you get hurt. I cannot do anything about it, so don't go complaining to me when you get hurt after watching this video. And besides, don't watch just my video and then go and try it. These are dangerous tools. These are all dangerous tools. They are very dangerous. Like, they can kill if you're not careful. But, if you're careful, I've used one of these for a pretty good time, and I have not hurt myself yet. So yeah, here we go. First off, let me set this to the side. We'll go over that a little bit later. I'm gonna show you, this is my first angle grinder. I want you to go and tell me, pause the video, go into the comments and write down everything that I am doing wrong in this video. That I'm doing wrong in this cut right now that I'm pretending. What am I doing? What am I doing wrong? Tell me in the comments, what am I doing wrong? Okay? What am I doing wrong? Got it? Okay. Okay, now that we got that over with. What? Now, you might be asking, okay, Michael, what were you doing wrong in that cut? A. Okay. Didn't have the darn handle attached. Didn't have the handle attached onto the machine. This just screws on. You can screw it on. On this grinder, you can screw it on here. You can screw it on here or here. Depends on if you're lefty or righty. I like screwing it on the side with the power switch. So that just in case something goes wrong, I can easily switch off the power switch. Because if it's down here, then I have to do that, which is a little bit annoying, but yeah. So I'm going to put it right here. Now, okay. Now, second thing off, I'm doing wrong. Also, this grinder's got a special feature. Wrench is built into the handle, but that's nice. I like that. I can't lose the wrench. A, B. Now this, my friend, is what you call a guard. It's a grinding or cutoff guard. Use this. Use this. Crazy story. I'm working at a automotive shop, and the guy is using a die grinder, the 3-inch cutoff disc on it. And he said, hey, where are my safety glasses? I wonder where they are. I don't need them. So then, and the die grinder doesn't have a guard on it to give you a fact. He fires that beast up instantly. This disc, the smaller version of this, more like this size. This is a worn-off version of one of these. You can see they're the exact same. Just this one's been used. I like this because you can get into smaller spaces. Fires this thing up and instantly it explodes. Right after he says, where are my safety glasses? And a piece of this comes off and goes right by his head, and he can feel it fly by him. Doesn't hit him, but he can feel it fly by him. If that hit him in the eye, he'd be blind. Let's just say it that way. You wouldn't be able to see out of that eye anymore. Or they might be able, I don't know if they'll be able to recover that. So yeah, keep the damn guard on the grinder. I don't know how many times I have to tell people this. Leave the guard alone. I know this thing's annoying because it's got a bolt here and you have to adjust it every single time. This goes like that on the grinder. Hold on. Goes not like that. Goes like that on the grinder. Don't use it. Use it. Come on, people. Use the guard. And then you take the disc. You put the disc on here. You take the ring. I'll show you close up so you understand. If you look at this, you can see there's a lip on the top, and there's not on one side. If you're using a cut-off disc, this is a type 27. This is a type 27 cut-off disc. Use the flange. No, yeah, wait, yeah. Yes, do you use the flange? No. Flat side. Flange on the motor side that drives the motor. Like that, if that's on the motor side. And then flat side to screw it onto the arbor. Flat side to screw it onto the arbor. Okay? If you are using type 20, if you're using a grinding disc, as you can see, it's much thicker. This is the side that goes on the grinder, and as you can see, because it's got that shape cut into it. Put that on the grinder like that, with the ring facing the inside. As you can see, it's got a lip. Put the lip in. Take the nut. I'm gonna call this the flange. The flange just goes on the arbor, and this has no threads on it. I'm gonna call this the nut because it's got threads in it. The nut goes on top with the flange facing down. And if you're using a cutoff disc, flange up. Grinding disc, flange down. Flap disc, flange down. Got it? Okay, good. So now, how to install a disc onto a grinder. Very simple. You take the flange on the motor side that does not have threads, put it down until it locks in. Grab your wheel or your type, whatever you want to install, put that on, and then you take the appropriate side of the flange, put it on, and screw it on. Come on. There we go. Then, now as you can see, you're like, oh wait, I grabbed my wrench. I need to tighten this down. I can't tighten it down. I've seen so many people do this to tighten it down. You can do that with like flat discs, but with these cut-off discs that can get really flat, fragile, there's a little button back here. Ow. There's a little button back here that if you push it, as you can see, it's just like a circular saw. Locks the disc in place. As you can see, it doesn't want to turn. And now you can tighten it down properly. Now you don't have to go whole gorilla mode. You don't have to go gorilla mode on this thing. To tighten it down to get it to tighten it down. Just tighten it down, because as you're using it, it will tighten it down itself. So just go not too tight, not too loose, just right. Tight enough so it won't come undone. And there you go. Cut-off disc is installed on the grinder with the guard installed properly. You see my guard is not tightened down, but you get the idea. You get the idea. Guard is not tightened down, so I gotta tighten that down. Now, there are two types of cut-off discs that I know of. There's the Type 27 cut-off disc and the Type 1 cut-off disc. The Type 27 cut-off disc has a recess, has a bump in the middle, where the Type 1 is completely flat. There you go. That's the difference. And as you see, these are ridiculously thin. Now, do not, and I repeat, do not grind metal with these. They will explode. I promise you, they will explode. These are not as strong as cut-off discs that you use on abrasive cutoff saw. Those are like 1/8 of an inch thick, where these are 1/16 of an inch thick. 1/8 inch versus 16th inch. Get the idea? Yeah, these are much more fragile. If I did that hard enough, I could break it, and I can actually feel it flexing a little just by doing that. So be very careful, as you can't even see how thin that is. I can't even see how thin that is. But yeah, 1/16 of an inch thick slitting disc or cutoff disc. Zip disc also, that's what they sometimes call these. Now there's a new type of cutoff disc, which I actually kind of like. This disc comes out by Diablo, and it is a all-metal disc. Now you might be like, Michael, or you might be like, MJT360. This is for doing like stone and stuff. It's not. This is a metal cutoff disc with diamond impregnated stuff on the edge. And you might be like, how long does this last? 100 times the life of one of these. 100 times the life of one of these zip discs. All these are 4.5 inch, by the way, if you're wondering. Or 115 millimeter. Yeah. So there you go. This has got diamond on the edge. I like this as long as you're cutting thin stuff. If you're cutting through thick stuff, this takes a ridiculously long time, because it is about, I don't know how thick it is, but it's pretty thick. It's way thicker than the most of the normal cutoff discs. To give you an idea, you can see the thickness difference. So this is going to take a longer time to cut through than this. But these can chop through like hardened steel, metal. Don't use these on aluminum because they clog up really easily. And yeah. In fact, don't use abrasive cutoff wheels for cutting aluminum, because you mix that with a little bit of metal dust and you get something known as thermate. It's not thermite, it's thermate, which is very flammable. So yeah, couple more types of cutoff discs or discs. We've got a grinding disc right here. This is a grinding disc meant for grinding at a 45-degree angle, or not the edge. Not the edge. Grinding at an angle, like that. And then we've got a flap disc. And here's another kind. This is from Harbor Freight. This one is a Radnor. Now, you might realize something. What is that big metal thing on the flap disc? It's a nut. So you can screw this onto your grinder. Only problem is, this flap disc is meant for one of these rat tail grinders, where the switch is at the end of the handle. This grinder is what you call a barrel grip grinder, because it looks like a barrel. And the rat tail grinders, the handles are down here. Kind of like, are we getting serious now? Yes, we are. We are totally getting serious now. Let me pull out the beast, the mighty, the amazing Metabo 6-inch angle grinder. Metabo 6-inch angle grinder. This is a beast, not for kids at all. Like, look at that versus my hand. This is unplugged, by the way. That is the size of my hand. Yeah. It's big, it's beefy, and it's a beast. And it's also got soft start, and it's got a 2-second brake on it. 2-second brake, 2-second safety brake. So it takes 2 seconds for this wheel to stop when it was brand new. It takes a little bit longer, maybe 3 or 4 seconds now, but yeah, it still works. This is also one of those. Oh, this is a Merit. This is a Merit PowerFlex flap disc. But yeah, 6-inch cutoff, 6-inch flap disc. I'm gonna get some cutting wheels for this, but now we get to the really main big part. You might be saying, oh, I should be able to take this 6-inch wheel and put it on my, hold on. I know you're gonna be screaming at me saying, Michael, why, or dude, why are you taking the guard off your grinder again? Doing this for show and tell purposes. Might be like, why can't I just take this wheel, it threads on, put it on here, and use it like this to grind, to cut, to do big metal? A, look at how close my hand is. A, if I was to use this, look at how close my hand is to that freaking wheel. B, this wheel is rated at 10,200 RPM. This grinder spins at 11,000 RPM. This wheel will explode if I was to power it up and try and use it. And there's no guard whatsoever. But what I can do but I don't recommend it. Put this to the side. If you want to get out of a sticky situation where you're like, crud, I don't have a cutoff disc for my big grinder, you can take a 4.5-inch wheel. I'm going to use this one as an example. You can use a 4.5-inch wheel on the 6-inch grinder. You might be like, wait, that's not going to work. It's going to overspin it. This wheel is rated at 13,200 RPM. This grinder spins at 9,600 RPM. This disc will be perfectly fine on this grinder. Yes, you won't get a lot of cutting life on it, but in a sticky situation, you can use a 4.5-inch wheel on a 6-inch grinder, but you cannot put a 6-inch wheel on a 4.5-inch grinder. Just like you cannot put a 10-inch grinding wheel on a 4.5-inch grinder. But you can put the 4.5-inch wheel on the 10-inch grinder. There you go. Yeah, makes sense. And I've seen so many people online, YouTube and stuff like that, say, I can make a homemade sanding attachment by cutting out a piece of wood, screwing this arbor flange to it, putting sandpaper on it, and using it to sand wood. Don't do that. Don't do that. It's not a smart idea. I've tried it and it vibrates like hell and I never did it again. Also, hold on. Also, seen this on video so many times. Again, I'm pulling the guard off. Also, never, you might be able to remove the guard once in a while on the 4.5-inch grinder. Never remove the grinding guard on a 6-inch or bigger grinder. On any grinder, actually. I've seen so many people online do this also. They're like, hey, I can fit a saw blade on my grinder. Of course, if this is a 6-inch saw blade. Don't do that again. Kick back. This would love to kick back at you. Like that. Use a circular saw. Do it the right way. Now, one last thing before I sign off. people might say, yeah, I can use, say if this was a, hold on, I'm going to put back on the 6-inch wheel. If you're wondering what model this is a Metabo WEPVA 17150 Quick, which means that if this thing's running and I push down this lever, it will loosen the wheel for me. But now people might say, yeah, I could totally use this like this without the guard on there. Should be totally fine. Well, once you screw the handle on, then you realize something. Which, this is a Ryobi handle going on a Metabo grinder. They finally get to have friends in this garage, in this building. Look at how close my hand is to the wheel. How close my hand is to that wheel. Pretty dang close. Pretty dang close, I gotta say. How close my thumb is. I can almost touch the wheel while it's spinning, if it was to spin. Don't take the guard off. These wheels, when they get bigger, they have more velocity when they're spinning and they explode faster. They hit you harder because they're bigger. Leave the guard on the grinder. The 6-inch grinder is no joke. I so wish I could tell you guys the story that my next door neighbor had, but it's not appropriate for YouTube, so I can't tell you. Just look up weld.com, how to properly use an angle grinder. They will give you an entire in-depth tutorial on how to use an angle grinder properly. So yeah. Also, I can put that flange from that Ryobi grinder on this Metabo. It will work. Also, one other thing I don't like about this is that this is perfectly flush with the edge of the grinder, and it even shows a photo right here. Do you want it to be below the bottom of the guard? And this one is not below the bottom of the guard. It's actually above, so it shoots sparks out around the guard. Which means if the wheels exploded, it probably wouldn't stay in there. So yeah. So now, going back to that one quick thing. Going back to this grinder, this 4.5-inch Ryobi, which I actually love. Yes. I bought this without my parents knowing, actually. So yeah, if I thread this on, you might be like, oh, it's a 4.5-inch wheel, it should fit. It doesn't fit. Wait. Does it fit? I've actually never tried this. Hear that? Just look. Does not fit. The wheel is too big, it runs into the guard. So, I cannot use this wheel. I cannot use this wheel on this guard with this grinder. Which sucks, because it's a really nice wheel. Now, these Harbor Freight slap discs are actually pretty decent. I use these as consumables. I only buy Harbor Freight flap discs, and then I just chuck them when they're junk. This one's got no stuff left, but it still works pretty decent. But yeah, there you go. And the metal disc. Make sure that the directions are the same. So as you can see, this one I have to actually put on backwards to get it to spin the right direction. And I like this disc because it might not explode if it gets bound in the cut. That's what the Metabo has. The Metabo has a feature where it's got a clutch built into it in the gearbox that if it gets stuck, the clutch slips and the wheel doesn't explode, which is a nice feature. But this is one of those cheap $45 or $100 or $50, somewhere around there, $0 to $45 to $100 Ryobi angle grinder, which I actually like a lot. It's a pretty nice grinder. Yeah, it makes some horrible noises once in a while, but works still, so I like it. Also, one last thing. Safety equipment. You want the guard on, you want ear protection, eye protection. Here's some ridiculously nice pair of safety glasses. These are the best of the best quality that you can buy. That you can't buy. Nobody can buy these except for if you have a Snap-on. If you have a Snap-on truck like thing, these are Snap-on safety glasses, and I love them. But if you can't find those, go online, spend some decent money, pick yourself up a pair of these nice safety glasses. These are rated and everything, and they're pretty nice. They've even got little rubber things on the nose pieces. Now, stay away from these. What are these? Oh wait, these have ANSI. These have ANSI 7871, so these are safety approved. But yeah, these are like $1 a piece for a 5-pack, so $5. Or at least these are like $10. These nice ones that I've found. The Snap-ons are $35 for one pair, but yeah, those are not good safety glasses. You cannot see through them. Cannot really see through them very well. Cannot see through them very well. They're foggy. Snap-ons. Nice and clear. Don't even notice the difference. Don't even notice the difference. So yeah, there you go. Also, when you're wearing safety glasses with an angle grinder, you also need to be wearing a face shield at the same exact time. Wear a face shield. Protect your face, your moneymaker, as they like to call it. So there you go. There's your final safety course on how to use an angle grinder, or some safety parts of the angle grinder. There's many more. There's like a million different attachments, from wire wheels, cement cutting, masonry cutting, brick cutting, ungrouting to remove grout out of a wall, for slotting. Yeah. Hell, there's even, if you really want to go sketchy, there's a chainsaw cutting attachment. There's wood carving attachments for these, sanding discs for sanding wood. There's a million different things that you can get for these. That's just a few to name them. These are the ones that I mainly use in my shop. And there you go. So this is MJT360. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, do whatever you have to do to get this video out to people. Yeah, there you go. Have a great and wonderful rest of your night, and this is MJT360 signing out.